Donna and Vince Aylmer from Gloucester, England, were excited to expand their family of 5 to 6 with the arrival of another child. Donna, a 49-year-old warehouse worker, and Vince, a 55-year-old scaffolder, attended their first routine checkup and ultrasound together. Expecting a typical appointment, they were happy but not anticipating anything out of the ordinary. After all, they already had 3 children: George, China, and Jordan. However, the couple's day was about to take a surprising turn. The doctor informed them that instead of just one baby, they were expecting twins. Although it was a bit of a shock, the news was met with joy and relief, especially since both babies appeared healthy and were developing normally. With the twins' arrival, the Aylmers would soon have 5 children, which was overwhelming yet exciting. As they processed this unexpected blessing, they looked forward to the challenges and joys the twins would bring. Little did they know, the surprises were far from over. On January 16, 1997, Donna gave birth to 2 beautiful and healthy babies. But when the midwife handed her the twins, she was left speechless, as what she saw didn't match anything she had expected. In one arm, Donna cradled a baby with pale, snow-white skin, deep blue eyes, and ginger hair, whom she named Lucy. In her other arm was a twin with dark skin, brown eyes, and brown hair, Maria. How could this be? 2 babies, born at the same time, yet completely different in appearance. This unexpected and extraordinary surprise left Donna and Vince completely stunned. How could these twins, sharing the same birthday and being born to the same parents, look so different from each other? As is common with twins, Donna loved dressing Lucy and Maria in matching outfits, but this often left strangers puzzled. The girls didn't just look different from one another, they looked as if they could be from 2 completely different families. Lucy, with her blue-green eyes and curly red hair, could easily be mistaken for an Irish child. Maria, in contrast, had dark skin, brown eyes, and curly brown hair, features more typical of someone from the Caribbean. It was hard to believe that they were twins, and this stark contrast in appearance led to many confused stares. But as remarkable as this story is, it's even more fascinating when you see how the girls have grown up. At the age of 7, Lucy and Maria told their mother that they no longer wanted to wear matching outfits. They didn't understand why they were always dressed alike when they clearly looked so different from each other. "We don't even look like twins," they exclaimed. The girls explained that because they didn't feel like they shared the same appearance, they didn't want to be dressed the same anymore. They were starting to develop their own sense of individuality. From that moment, Lucy and Maria began to carve out their own identities, and though it was exciting for them, it came with challenges. Although they were in the same class at school, their classmates had no trouble telling them apart. There were no chances to pull the usual twin pranks, like swapping names on homework or confusing the teacher. While they were pleased to be recognized as distinct individuals, they also found it a little disappointing not to enjoy the traditional twin mischief. That being said, even identical twins often distinguish themselves through their different personalities. And in this case, the girls' unique traits made them stand out in their own special way. As Lucy and Maria grew older, it became clear that they were different in more ways than just their striking appearances. Their contrasting personalities began to show as they reached adulthood, further fueling the intrigue around their unique story. At 18, their story caught the attention of several news outlets. In an interview with Inside Edition, Lucy shared how their personalities were complete opposites. "Maria was outgoing while I was the shy one," Lucy said. Maria nodded in agreement, adding that over time, Lucy became more confident and came out of her shell a bit more. While Lucy preferred to keep to herself and avoid strangers, Maria was always ready to strike up a conversation with anyone she met. These personality differences meant that as children, the twins weren't particularly close, but as they grew older, they developed a stronger bond. So, what are the twins up to now? Both Lucy and Maria struggled with certain aspects of themselves growing up. Maria disliked her curly hair and would often cry about it, feeling frustrated by it. Meanwhile, Lucy felt self-conscious about her pale skin. As a child, she was teased by other kids for looking like a ghost and was even called the adopted one because of her fair complexion. Lucy tried to rationalize her appearance, explaining to herself and others that she had inherited her English rose skin from her grandmother. As she got older, she began straightening her naturally curly hair, though it never quite had the ringlets that Maria's did. But here's the most surprising part. Donna and Vince Aylmer had unknowingly created a set of biracial twins. This revelation added a new layer to their already extraordinary story. It's no surprise that skin tone and color can't be detected on an ultrasound, so Donna and Vince had no way of knowing what to expect. The likelihood of having biracial twins is incredibly rare, about 1 in 500, making their situation even more extraordinary. Their other children, George, China, and Jordan, have darker complexions, though not as dark as Maria's, and certainly much darker than Lucy's. The Aylmers didn't expect their twins to be so strikingly different in appearance, but it was the most wonderful surprise. To understand how this happened, it's essential to know that biracial twins can only occur when the parents come from different ethnic backgrounds. Vince, Donna's husband, is of Caucasian descent, while Donna is half Jamaican and half white. This explains the mixed skin tones in their 3 older children, though they all share similar traits and darker complexions than Lucy. However, Lucy and Maria were a whole different story. Despite being twins, they appeared to be complete strangers with no shared physical resemblance. The situation left Donna and Vince in complete awe, and they wondered how such a thing was even possible. Lucy and Maria are what's known as non-identical or fraternal twins. This means they were conceived from 2 separate eggs in the womb, so they didn't inherit the exact same genetic makeup. The way their genes came together was pure chance, determining their individual traits, particularly their skin colors. The reason Lucy and Maria's skin tones are so drastically different can be traced back to Donna's mixed heritage. Because Donna carries genes for both white and black skin, there was a higher likelihood that one twin would inherit the fairer skin gene, while the other inherited the darker one. This genetic lottery is what led to the extraordinary difference in appearance between the two. So, aside from their skin colors, how else did Lucy and Maria turn out to be different? Despite their contrasting appearances and personalities, Lucy and Maria have developed their own distinct styles. Lucy favors edgy, dark makeup and piercings, while Maria prefers a more sophisticated look with a bohemian flair. Their fashion choices reflect their individual identities and interests. Lucy shared with Inside Edition that growing up, their differences made them feel somewhat disconnected. If they had looked more alike and shared more common traits, they might have been closer as children. However, this didn't mean their bond wasn't strong. In fact, Lucy emphasized that as they've grown older, their connection has deepened despite their differences. Now that we're older, even though we still look so different, the bond between us is much stronger, Lucy said during her interview. Today, the twins proudly declare they're not just sisters but best friends. Maria, in particular, loves to tell people she has a white twin, while Lucy feels blessed to have a sister who isn't the same color as her. Although they've come to accept their differences, some people still struggle with the concept of such an unusual pair of twins. For the girls, embracing their uniqueness has become a way of life. Today, Lucy and Maria have taken completely different career paths. Lucy is pursuing a degree in art and design at Gloucester, while Maria is studying law at Cheltenham College. Despite their differing pursuits, they constantly support each other and boast about each other's accomplishments, which has generated media attention around their story. However, despite their close bond and mutual support, some people continue to have difficulty accepting them for who they are. Their journey to full acceptance, both by others and themselves, remains ongoing. After their interviews with various media outlets, the twins' story garnered a mix of reactions from their college friends. While some were fascinated by their unique tale, others were skeptical, struggling to believe such an unusual phenomenon could actually happen. Maria recalled one instance when a friend questioned her about being a twin after seeing a picture of Lucy. It wasn't until their television interview that some of their friends began to believe the twins' story, one that involved being biracial twins. Maria noted that throughout their lives, they had grown accustomed to skepticism, as people often expect twins to look alike. Even when they dressed the same, it was still difficult for some to accept that they were, in fact, siblings. In fact, the twins' unusual story was so hard to believe that some of their closest friends even challenged them to prove their relationship by asking to see their birth certificates. This reaction highlighted just how rare and remarkable the phenomenon of biracial twins is, and how even people who know them well struggled to accept it. The situation reflects the challenges that come with being a living example of something so uncommon. Despite the fact that they were biologically identical in many ways, born at the same time from the same set of parents, people found it hard to grasp the reality of two twins looking so different. For Lucy and Maria, it's a testament to how deeply ingrained expectations of familial resemblance are, and how those expectations can sometimes cloud people's ability to accept the extraordinary. Maria humorously remarked, "These friends sure don't have a lot of trust," when discussing how some of their college friends questioned their twin status. Despite the skepticism, the twins shared a closer bond than many might assume given their stark differences in appearance and personality. Growing up, Lucy and Maria didn't feel particularly close, often feeling like they were worlds apart. As they explained in their interview with Inside Edition, they didn't share the typical twin connection that people often assume comes with being a twin. The infamous psychic bond, the idea that twins can feel each other's emotions or sense what the other is thinking, wasn't something they experienced. They confessed that they didn't feel that deep, otherworldly connection many twins claim to have, but there was one surprising phenomenon they did share. Sometimes, they felt the same physical pains in the same spots. While they didn't feel a psychic connection, the twins were open to the idea that maybe, in some subtle way, they could share a bond that they hadn't fully recognized or understood. The shared physical aches could be a hint that there is more to their connection than they realize. But beyond this, they have certainly come to appreciate their differences, celebrating them through their distinct fashion choices and personalities. Still, as much as they celebrate their individuality, they can't deny that they share a lot in common. Despite their different appearances, both Maria and Lucy have tall, slender frames that could easily pass for model material. As they grew older, it became increasingly clear that beyond the obvious differences in hair and eye color, there were some striking resemblances between the two. What's more, despite their differences, they take great comfort in knowing that they'll always have each other's backs, no matter how much they may differ in appearance or interests. Through all of life's challenges, they have become each other's closest allies and support system. The bond they share as sisters may not be what the world typically expects from twins, but it's a strong and enduring one that transcends their physical differences. In the end, Maria and Lucy's story is a powerful reminder that family bonds, especially those between siblings, can be deep and lasting, even if they don't follow the traditional script. Despite how unique their connection may seem, it's clear that no matter how different they are, the twins will always share an unbreakable bond built on love, trust, and mutual respect.